wrong, went up there to the outside and is probably going to clear Torn out of turn 4 here, and does.
Absolutely, just manages to clear him. But are we going to see another challenge possibly come from Schertz? Or will Ronnie be able to go up and challenge Jones? This has still got a lot to shake out here. We're still in the very early goings. Just now working on lap number 3. Looking a little bit further back in the field, it is Gladelich, who is still fighting it out, but he's drifted back. He was up there fighting for 5th place, and now he's all the way back in 8th. Martin Plute getting around. We've got a car around. It's
that's Brady Motes, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. Brady Motes already having issues, and a number of trucks involved in this one.
I believe that was Andrew Staub mowing the grass there, trying to avoid it.
And it is, in fact, Staub who's having an issue trying to get through that one. So I do say that Brady, I'm getting some conflicting notes here. So first, I think we have this with Brady Motes. It looks like he gets up into the wall and then gets tagged by Stats. And
did you see the ride that the 25 had? And then you see he stopped on the track, and it just causes a melee there.
My goodness.
But that 25 had... he might have some suspension damage because, believe it or not, he hit that road course turtle that's on the track and kind of went airborne.
Well, let's take a look here at the 25 and see exactly what he saw. I also see that Keegan Bitzer perhaps went off track a little bit there. Get back over to Stats, and let's see what he saw through this incident. Really no place to go here, Christian.
Just nothing that he could do, and then you see he just launches airborne after he hits something there on the bottom of the track. And yeah, there was just nothing he could do. I mean, the car in front of him got a little bit high into the wall, and he couldn't check up, he couldn't move down. That's unfortunate there for Joey Stats.
So meanwhile, we'll check in over and see exactly what Keegan Bitzer saw. This is coming through this mess as it starts to erupt up in front. Does he take a... Oh, he gets into some contact there.
Yeah, he got hit there. I don't know who was on his outside. It was a blue and yellow truck.
Possibly, I'm not sure if it was...
Maybe Todd Schneider?
Yeah, exactly. Or possibly, let's see here. Yeah, it would have been Schneider.
Oh, it was cool. Yeah, Todd Schneider gets into him there. And that sometimes happens, whenever there's a wreck up in front, you get kind of different drivers doing different things. Maybe not Todd Schneider. Maybe there's a truck between them.
Well, a lot of action here for one incident. Certainly, we can go through it 100 different ways and pick it apart.
Whoever's right behind him.
But this is what happens when you have difficulties with two drivers that are right up front. And certainly Motes having that issue getting sideways.
Wow, that was a very big...
Fortunately, it looks like we're kind of losing Christian's microphone, but what he's trying to...
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, it was big net code there. No fault from Todd or Keegan in that sense. It's just iRacing being iRacing,
Yeah, net code part of it. Not much that, unfortunately, we can do about it. Sometimes the prediction code doing some weird stuff, and occasionally two people making contact when they don't actually make contact. But still, I mean, it's too bad for Brady Motes. He started up there at the front and then had that little bit of an issue. I know that he's been having some good runs as of late, but to start this one off, now going to be completely on the back foot here. That's a rough way to go, but what it does do is give over the lead to Ronnie Norman, and it looks like Norman somehow is, I don't know if he's going to start in first or maybe he's just holding first for the moment. But
yeah, I think he's just holding first because he took the outside lane and he was in the lead at the start-finish line. So I think that's the only reason it's showing him there. But I actually like the choice there to go on the outside because we saw Ronnie make a pass earlier on the outside. So we'll see what he can do here on this restart against Brian Jones.
Brian Jones has a lot of experience. 5,898 is his I rating, so certainly among the highest rated drivers in the NORA Truck Series. But will that matter tonight here at Charlotte? We've already seen some attrition. And with these top-notch drivers like Ronnie Norman, Torrin Schertz just behind, Josh Conover, essentially Ronnie's teammate, but just 2 spots back, we're going to see a lot of challenges for position. This one just getting going. Lap number 8, we're about to begin.
Green flag.
And we are green here. Brian Jones steps on it. Ronnie Norman gets not a great start, and as a result, Torrin Schertz already there to try to take advantage coming up the inside.
Josh thought for a second there to peek it in the middle, but he's going to choose better and get behind Ronnie here and work with his teammate. But I think Ronnie is going to be fine right now. He's on the outside lane, and it seems to be the dominant lane whenever you're side by side right now.
Well, there's Martin Plute in that yellow Loves truck. He's already up there challenging for second position, running in 3rd place, and on the inside now challenging Ronnie Norman. He's going to take that 2nd spot.
Yeah, we've seen this from Martin a lot this season, having luck early, but then, something throughout the race happens and it takes him out. So let's see if tonight maybe he can do a little bit better.
Excuse me, of course, he did for a moment take 3rd place, but now he's kind of falling back as Ronnie Norman able to make that outside lane work. But Plute really trying to give it a go here on the inside, and as you can see just behind, there's Josh Conover peeking on. This is looking at it from just behind, and if you're Josh Conover, you're trying to pick which lane to head into.
Yeah, I think right now Josh is kind of saving his stuff. He doesn't want to push it because obviously there's nowhere to go in front of him whenever they're too wide, so it's better to just sit behind them and just kind of ride for right now.
Really no rush here. Wow, that's a lot of patience from Josh Conover and a lot of heads-up thinking, but Martin Plute has a moment there coming off of turn 4, and now he's drifting backwards on the outside of the track. He's got damage, and I think he's slowed down.
Yeah, and I was just talking about it. He's usually up front for the first part of the race, and then something happens to take him out of it, and that might be the thing that takes him out of it tonight here.
Well, it's as much a matter of being fast as it is staying clean, and I think Plute has just unfortunately acquired enough damage that he's starting to stack up some of these trucks that are behind him here too. You got Cody Reeder for KPR Motorsports, and there's Todd Slauson just behind trying to get up forward, and there's Timmy Harper too. So a lot of these trucks going to be kind of licking their chops, seeing Plute coming back through the field, picking up a quick position, but hopefully Plute can get that one figured out and moving back ahead. In the meantime, up front, Brian Jones for Brian Powell Motorsports has led every single lap, and he continues to do so here at Charlotte. 2nd place is Torrin Schertz, who's gained a position early on. He's looking on, and he's looking aggressive, like he might want to get some more here. He's potentially looking like he wants to make a pass. Here he goes, heading into turn 3. No, he thinks better of it and backs out of that one. But Christian, he's also feeling that pressure coming up from behind from Ronnie Norman.
Yeah, not only that pressure, but also the pressure to win. He is not locked into the playoffs yet, so he needs a win to guarantee his spot for the playoffs. So he's kind of desperate at this point to get that win.
Number of drivers, as you mentioned, not guaranteed to make it into the playoffs and doing everything they can get themselves in position here tonight to try to take victory and see if they can get in just based off of victory. They won't make it off of points. So Schertz having a great run, and this is the type of performance that we have seen Schertz. I mean, he has been up there near the top 5, flirting with the top 5 all season long, but tonight he's looking especially strong, and you know how it goes when your job's on the line or you gotta get into the playoffs, suddenly there's a fire lit under you, and Schertz is having a great run here so far.
Yeah, with only 10 people going to the playoffs, it's kind of, we have so many good trucks in this field. There's more than 10 trucks that are capable of winning in this league, and with only having 10 spots, it causes, people to push themselves further than they normally would.
Absolutely right. So you've got to really all season long push yourself, and we see Plute low on the backstretch just kind of letting trucks go by now. But you know, you don't want to push too hard, Christian. I mean, we've seen already some trucks trying to push maybe above their fighting weight here tonight to try to get up there and stay up there, and you know that's when things go wrong. So it's a balancing act. You still got to be there at the end, and we're just now over 10% of the way done with this. You don't want to push too soon.
Yeah, I was talking to my team earlier today, and none of them are close to being locked in, so they're almost in a must-win situation. And I told them to maybe use the Josh Conover strategy of staying in the back most of the race and then being up front in the end. But he's taking third right now, so he's making me take that sentence back that he's usually in the back. He's up front early here today.
Well, Josh knows how to do it either way, as you know. He can get up there and challenge quick, but his preferred strategy is definitely to hang back. He's not quite the Matthew George approach, but it's funny how they all kind of complement each other over a flatline. Typically, if you have Vincent Arthur out there, he'll lead every single lap if he can. And then you've, you know, in Cup, you've got Ronnie, who is typically towards the front, but not always trying to lead the race. And then you've got Josh, who's more than happy to sit sort of mid-pack for a lot of the race, and then, you know, somewhat up towards the top five. Not that he hasn't led laps, and not that he doesn't like to, but typically he likes to conserve the equipment a little bit. And then Matthew George, who will typically hang out towards the back of the pack or towards well past the top 10 usually. And then suddenly you get to the end of the race and boom, there's Matthew George. So either way, those flatline teammates, and in this case, JRC Sim Team for Ronnie Norman, of course, that's standing for Josh Conover Sim Team. So the apple doesn't fall very far from the tree there. But either way, Ronnie Norman has managed to fight off that attack from his not teammate, I guess, in this race, yeah. Josh Conover. And so far they're running 1, 2, 3, 4, Jones, Schertz, Norman, and Conover. But hey, look who's climbed 13 positions. You knew he was going to be emerging at the front at some point. This is a guy who's been making a lot of noise. It's Cody Reeder, who's up 14 spots here. This is some amazing stuff. He's already up into 5th.
Yeah, and right behind him, a couple positions back, Eric Sable also started pretty far back, which isn't kind of normal for us to see. We usually see Reeder and Sable up toward the front, but both of them have made it in the top 6 now.
Well, checking in over on the YouTube chat room. Missed you guys last week. Hey, thanks for checking in with us, Steven. We were kind of concerned. We're glad to have you back, my friend. Norman puts all the pressure towards the rear end. Yep. Well, we'll just let that comment stand on its own. But you know, Norman is one of those guys that has survived. Clearly, a couple of weeks ago when Vincent Arthur and Kleba had their battle run in, Norman was the proud benefactor of that, coming through and taking victory. But that's been his, you know, kind of survival strategy, as we watch Josh Conover now challenge Torrin Schertz after he managed to make it around Ronnie Norman. So I guess, Christian, he heard what you said, Josh did, about holding back and not going up there and challenging. But still, you know, seeing Cody Reeder coming through the field, if you're watching your relatives right now, the relative timing, not obviously your actual familial relatives, but if you're watching your relative timing box down in the corner, and by the way, Cody Reeder getting around Ronnie Norman as well back there, and here comes Eric Sable as we watch this battle between these two. If you're watching these two coming forward in a hurry and you're Josh Conover, you're thinking to yourself, well, look, I don't want to get left behind if these two are going to be coming forward and starting to put the pressure on Brian Jones. I'm going to have to stay up close to this battle, because last thing I want is for this thing to go green and see these two or Brian go disappear off the front.
Well, they were side by side for a very long time, and whenever these trucks are side by side, it slows them down. So it allowed Cody Reeder to pull up on their back bumpers, and it allowed Brian Jones to actually pull away as well.
That's absolutely true, and that's why I'm saying if this stays green, there is a factor to consider. If you've got these speedy drivers coming through the field quickly, that is a sign that they've got something that a lot of other drivers do not have here tonight. And here's Eric Sable. He's our most recent winner in the Truck Series. What is he going to be able to do tonight? Well, racing alongside of Cody Reeder, another super speedy driver. We're going to see whether or not these two have something for Brian Powell. That's coming up here, or Brian Jones, excuse me. That's coming up here in just a moment. Just in front, though, as you can see, these two challenging for that position. Second place being held on to by Josh Conover, and Brian Jones has escaped by about 3 to 4/10 of a second or so off of the front. So already starting to pull about a 4 or 5 car truck length lead there. Brian Jones looking really solid here so far.
Yeah, and these two, Brian Jones and Josh Conover, 3 or 4 years in a row, they have been 1-2 in the championship in trucks. So they know how it is up here toward the front. So they like each other, but they don't. They're not going to eat dinner together anytime soon. And speaking of which, neither will Cody Reeder and Sable. It was interesting to watch Sable get underneath and use a pick. Use torn shirts as a pick and pull away from Cody Reeder there. That was pretty cool.
Well, and now you see Shirts has drifted all the way back here to 5th place. And now Ronnie Norman up on the back of Shirts. He's going to go to the high side, try and take that 5th place, and he does. With Gladelich now entering this picture as well. They're in 7th place. Whoa, Shirts drifts up high. Just going through turn 4 and somehow manages to put the parachute out, and that's good enough to slow him down, but that lets Ronnie Norman get through. And here on lap number 30, that's actually for our first stage, so that will give the first stage over to Brian Jones, second to Josh Conover, third to Eric Sable. So Sable getting up there just in time to get some extra bonus points. Cody Reeder also in it for some points, and Ronnie Norman in 5th place. And so it's actually a perfect time to talk about one of the sweetest things in all of the NORA Truck and Cup Series. Of course, I'm talking about Abby's Sweet Treats Home Bakery, which all of this is presented by. There you see it on your screen. You got chocolate chip cookies. Those are some of the awesome Easter cookies, some cake pops. There's new stuff coming out all the time. Some of these photos are from, like a month ago, but she's got new photos popping up on her Facebook every single day, it seems like. So there's some peanut butter brownies. Those look really good. There's Abby. She's the owner and working out of Plymouth, Minnesota. She'll make up all these different things for you, and she'll ship them right out to you. There's the phone number on your screen. Make sure to give her a shout, 812-264-1624, abcobb@gmail.com, on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter for your sweet treat pleasure. So give Abby a call.
Here last week, did you get your cookies for the Indy 500?
Well, there was a little bit of a mix-up with the mail, and so unfortunately we did not. But we are getting some resent out to us, and I have no idea why it was actually rejected by my mail service, apparently. I have no idea what that's about.
They wanted the cookies for themselves.
I mean, you would think I would just not get the cookies if that was the case, but yeah, I don't know. I wish I could tell you, but either way, I should have some here this week, and I'll be enjoying those Abby Sweet Treats. I know quite a few people have already gotten theirs. So if you haven't already, make sure to head on over there. It's really affordable. And you got everything from Oreo cookie pies to cake pops. I know, Christian, you're looking forward to eventually getting your own Abby Sweet Treats as well.
Eventually, yes. I mean, those cookies do look really good.
So back,
and you know what? Real quick, speaking of the Indy 500, that was a great event. I just wanted to put that out there. That was a great race.
I couldn't agree more. It was great. Maybe a little bit controversial there at the end, depending on how you look at it, but still an amazing race. And then this last week also, as far as the Indy Series goes, it was great at Detroit as well. But Cup Series, Truck Series action, always solid as well. And just, yeah, it's a great time to be alive. You get access to all this great motorsports on television now. I know I'm dating myself, but I mean, I come from the time when you either had to read about it in the newspaper or, in some of these series, like the Truck Series, you'd be lucky if you could catch a broadcast of that when I started watching racing. And, then also you get tape delays of a lot of this stuff. So, you wanted to watch it, but you can't watch it live. There's no timing and scoring on the internet. There's no live streams. You certainly can't dial up your favorite drivers' onboards. But nowadays, like NASCAR, you even go onto YouTube.com, and there's like live in-car camera feeds of multiple different drivers that you can get totally for free. It is an amazing time to have access to all of these different motorsports.
Yeah, to see how far NASCAR has come since I started watching back in 2001 is absolutely incredible. I mean, they have the drone camera. We didn't know what a drone was in 2001, so absolutely incredible that they have. And the little driver's eye camera, I mean, the coverage that they have is just amazing.
Absolutely. It's just the cameras keep getting smaller, and we get the drones. Of course, here we have our own drones on VirtualRacing.Network. We spare no expense. We have so many different
Using
cameras.
All the budget.
Of course. All that virtual budget, for sure, put to work, and all of our virtual little operators out there, doing these things. In fact, we don't actually use drones. We have little gnomes that sit in little blimps virtually that fly around the track and do this for us because, again, we spare no expense in this fantasy world of sim racing. But it is Brian Jones and Jacob Gladelich who are going to bring us back to the green flag here at Charlotte after our second caution. And this is for, of course, the stage. So, Christian, is this the time that we're going to start to see some different names take over here at the front? I'm looking very carefully at that Cody Reeder and Brian Sable. Eric Sable. I don't know why I was saying.
Eric Sable actually, I believe, had a pit road penalty, so he's starting further on the back. But something interesting, Josh Conover took the inside lane instead of starting second on the outside, which now gives Jacob Gladelich the outside lane on the front row.
So these choose rules, choose cones, really play a factor here. You've got to choose right, and if not, you can get burned. Certainly Brian Jones choosing right all night long. I mean, that's one of the benefits of being out there in front, is that you can choose whichever side you want. You're always going to be in front, leading to the green flag. Brian Jones on it, heading to the green flag. He leaves Jacob Gladelich behind, and we are back underway here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
And it looks like the inside lane is going to work out for Josh, because he is going to clear Jacob Gladelich here as well.
Actually quite easily, and then there's Cody Reeder as well just behind. Gladelich slots into fourth, Todd Slauson in fifth. Hey, wait a minute, who is that guy in sixth place? Well, we've got a yellow.
Oh.
And I'll have to see who this is for. It looks like Tim
We got
Harper.
A truck on the apron. Oh.
We have Tim
There was
Harper.
just a wreck on the front stretch.
That's Conover.
Oh, someone turned him.
Well, we have Todd Slauson also involved somehow.
Oh, no.
I know you hear Todd Slauson and you're like, Todd, tell me you didn't take out Conover. I don't think that's what happened, but let's go ahead and back it up. First, we'll take a look from Timmy Harper's camera here. And let's see if we can figure out exactly what took place there. Oh, he just gets...
Oh, wow. I don't know what happened to Joey. He got out of shape and turned down there.
It's possible. I don't know. Let's back it up. We'll check it out one more time and see.
Yeah, we got another replay marathon here. There's a lot to break down.
Absolutely. Well, that's Joey's stats. So I think he's up in front of this. He wasn't the one who was outside of...
Oh, it wasn't. Who was?
I don't know. Let's we'll go back and we'll check out Tim Harper. It could have been Cody Dorsey? I'm not sure. We'll have to see if we can figure this one out.
Let's rewind it one more time.
Oh, rewind it about 20 times here. There's a lot of action to go over. On the outside,
it's the 43.
Mm-hmm.
I'm used to stats in the 43, but that is...
Blake Freeman.
Yeah, Blake Freeman. That was interesting.
So we'll see if we can tell. Let's go on board with Freeman, and we'll see if we can, tell from his point of view exactly what was going on here.
He looks like he turned down.
He just kind of turns to the left. I don't know if he... I mean, certainly a spotter would have told him he wasn't clear. So
yeah, and then up ahead you can see Josh Conover in the inside wall or down in the grass. So we've got to see what happened to him as well.
Absolutely. So we'll find Conover here and see if we can figure this one out. So there's Conover kind of by himself. There's Reeder just behind.
And the caution's out right about here.
And he's starting to lose it.
He lost it on his own.
He definitely does.
Oh, and Todd almost did too. Almost followed him.
So in the meantime, Todd Slauson, I think, just followed him kind of off track. There's Todd. This was just a couple of positions. Oh, he almost gets into the back of Gladelich. Gladelich was trying to figure out what was going on up in front.
I don't know if Josh caught the barrels or not. He was very close. We'll see it again here. You can see he's on the throttle up ahead. He gets loose. Does he hit him? No, I don't think he did.
I could have sworn I heard a little clack of the two cars coming together. Possibly Slauson did, but either way, they straightened it out. It wasn't, Slauson didn't end up taking it off, but a couple of different incidents happening on the track simultaneously, and one of them involving one of our front runners, Josh Conover, and that was an interesting one. Tim Harper was kind of in the middle of the pack. Blake Freeman just kind of turning down into him. Christian, this has been a few incidents here so far tonight. Fortunately, not too many trucks caught up in them at all.
Well, I'm telling you, real life, it was a full moon this weekend. We're back to another full moon type of race with weird stuff happening. Kind of seems to be every time I'm in the booth with you.
Yeah, I think the drivers know that... I'm just reading over in YouTube. Steven Dombrowski, I would totally sponsor a tiny blimp pilot if I had known. Well, I say that's what's happening. I mean, if you've ever looked at that little blimp up there for the iRacing blimp, I mean, it just looks like it's a mini blimp up there. I don't know a real full-size blimp that looks quite like that. But, we have our fun here. I mean, hey, look. Charlotte Motor Speedway completely sold out. I mean, every single race, NORA Truck and Cup Series selling out the stands. It's standing room only out there, Christian. I mean,
it is. I love it.
I know, and they turn out, they got us in the booth. This is some exciting stuff, and like I said, everybody's trying their hardest, trying their best, and sometimes, the nerves get the best of you, and sometimes that affects some of these drivers, but these are 27 of the best truck drivers on iRacing. It's so great to be able to cover this series every week that it's running. And I know also, speaking of which, there's some exciting stuff in the works as well for an Indy 500 of sorts, not using the real-life Indy car, but it's being worked on by NORA during the weeks when we won't be doing the truck series. So it's not 100% official yet, but I know this is something that's getting worked on, and I hope that this happens, but that's the plan. So the weeks that we're not doing the truck series, there'll be something different. But hey, I love it when it's the trucks. It's always exciting. Tonight's no different. Brian Jones gonna be taking the green flag once again. Jacob Gladelich back into second. Cody Reeder now takes over that second spot. And now we've got Sean Briscoe. Just what I was talking about before we went to caution. There's Briscoe in that number 39 Toyota, and he's coming forward quick.
Yeah, and I believe Sean Briscoe, believe it or not, is one of those drivers that doesn't have a win yet, so he also needs to get up there and punch his ticket to the playoffs.
I cannot believe that Sean Briscoe does not have a win. I just can't. I've got to look that up.
It's hard to fathom, yeah.
I can't believe that. Well, he's certainly taken second a whole bunch of times, and I think that expectation is just that there will be a win, so tonight could be his night. Here he is. He was supposed to start in second. He had to start towards the back for some sort of reason, and now he's all the way back to third, about to challenge Cody Reeder. Now, speaking of hard chargers, this guy, Cody Reeder for KPR Motorsports, had a chance to chat with him last week, and he is just having so much fun out there. You know, in the Cup Series, he's out there to try to support Kleba, but here tonight, he's out there to try everything he can to go out there and win this race. And he's up 16 spots so far. What more can be said? In just 42 laps, up 16 spots, we might see Cody Reeder in victory lane here at the end of tonight.
Yeah, and that would not be a surprise. Cody Reeder, definitely one of the top guys here. And you were mentioning about KPR. That entire team is basically like a family. So it's a great organization that they got over there. I think Reeder said that he was at Kleba's wedding, or vice versa. So they are a really tight-knit team.
Another tight-knit team right now happening. Full Send Motorsports in 5th and 6th position. That's Todd Slauson and Brad Fulham. Couple of great drivers here in the NORA Truck Series that, you know, they typically are around that top 10. We got Brady Moats off in the grass, I believe.
That's a caution.
And that's another caution. We've got Snyder, Blake Freeman, a number of drivers. I don't know if Corey Danielson involved in this one as well. Dylan Walterman. So let's see what happened to Brady Moats to start this one out. It's like another replay fest oncoming here. Oh,
he got loose and hit Brady, and then he kept getting loose.
I think
gathered it up and got wrecked.
That was Danielson, I believe.
I believe so, yeah.
Had all of that issue up in front. We'll check it out from his point of view here. See maybe what he had going on in the cockpit, but I imagine it all just kind of melts away from him here. Coming off the corner, gets loose and a kind of a tank slapper, and he can't control it. That truck comes around and almost flips him over there.
Yeah, he got pinballed there as he was getting loose and trying to save it. That Memorial Day special paint scheme that he made, not looking too good right now. Well, it's looking good, but the truck's not. The paint is.
Certainly, and they spend all that time designing these paint jobs, and just like real life, it can all go up in smoke real fast. Here's what Walterman saw. He just made incidental contact there as...
Man, look at the turf as he went through that. He got, I think, all 4 tires off the ground. Hopefully there were no gnomes in the grass.
We got gnomes everywhere. I mean, little gnomes with cameras pointed in every direction. When we have those speed cams, also, those aren't unmanned speed cams. We just have the little gnomes in there operating those cameras. So, they get paid well. They've got health insurance, but we take care of them. But they do have a dangerous job. And Mark Bremkamp in 24th place. Going to be sitting on pit road, I believe, or did he pop out? No, he is out there right now, so he's made it back out there. Schneider going a lap down right now. In fact, I think he's popped out of the cockpit, and so has Brady Moats and Martin Plute also out of this race. So that's 3 drivers that, I don't know if Brady will be able to get back in once the damage repair is done, but I mean, that's 3 fast drivers that are already out of this thing with 48 laps in the books.
I'll tell you what, I'm looking at that top 10. Seeing Todd and Brad up there, I'm happy as a team owner up here.
Indeed, Christian Snyder, team owner of Full Send Motorsports, operating both in the trucks and the Cup Series. And it's always a cool thing as an owner to look down, see your drivers up there. Speaking of the Indy 500, you know how cool that was for AJ Foyt to look down and see a couple of his cars up there in the top 5, especially Ferrucci challenging for the lead. And I can only imagine you're seeing similar. It just gets you a little giddy inside, doesn't it? I mean, you just feel really good looking at your trucks up there in the top 5.
Yeah, hopefully they can stay there. You know, we've had trouble all season. I talked to them before the race. It was kind of the first time in a while that we all 4 were talking to each other and going over some strategy. So maybe that helped. Hopefully we have good results tonight. Stab's doing pretty good too. He's on back in the field, so I'm sure he'll get back up here in the top 10 eventually. So hopefully tonight's the turnaround that we need.
Well, again, with the amount of attrition that we've had here so far, it's just a matter of staying clean. What do you think we owe some of these drivers getting loose coming off of turn 4 to? Is this a truck thing? Because we didn't see that quite as much. I don't think it was a lot more off of 2 than 4 necessarily with the Cup Series when they were here last week.
Yeah, I don't know what the issue is for them getting loose, because it's not very hot out there, so it's not.
Yeah, in fact,
this might be the setup.
Taking a look there at the weather, you can see just 83 degrees on the track. So as you said, but 16-mile-per-hour breeze. Now that is a substantial breeze. Usually it's not something that affects you cross breeze coming off the corner, but if you're right on that edge, it could push you over the edge.
Yeah.
Usually it's more coming. Well, it is heading into a corner. Usually a bigger issue as you get to the highest speed at the end of the straight. But again, if you're right there on that edge coming through a corner and you catch a cross breeze, that could be enough to push you around.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't realize the wind was that high, so that could be the issue. As they're coming off the corner and the truck's unloading, the wind is just kind of pushing the back of the truck around. But you were saying earlier about the Indy 500 and Ferrucci. I was rooting him on. That beautiful red, white, and blue car. I wanted it to win.
Absolutely, that would have been certainly very well received had that happened, and certainly AJ Foyt has been out of winner's circle there at Indy 500 territory for a long time. But he took third. I think a podium is anything that, like right now, if I offered a podium to Brad Fulham or Todd Slauson, they might take that. Just
yeah.
Hey,
they're gonna take a top 5.
They would love to have a top 5, but of course, really the goal is for them to take victory here in the next couple of races, because they do need to get a victory in order to get into the playoffs. Here we go, back underway, and Brian Jones gets a good start. Cody Reeder does not get a great start.
The tires.
Indeed.
Wow.
And so Sean Briscoe taking over into second. Just behind, there's Todd Slauson looking on. And Tyler Dixon now up into this mix, just trying to get around Brad Fulham.
And here comes Ronnie Norman back into the picture as well.
So these drivers all jockeying for position. We'll see how this one starts to settle down. Norman not able to get around. We've got Hollinger and possibly Danielson back towards the back of this one. There's Hollinger.
What do you think? You think he got loose? Possibly? We've seen it before.
I mean, possibly already, but let's see if they make contact. This is coming through the corner. This actually starts just in front of them.
The Starry truck.
Yeah, I know Tim Harper.
Very great drink.
I haven't tried it yet. I'll have to give that one a shot here soon. But let's see if we can tell exactly what took place here. This was the number 24 just up in front.
I believe that's Nick Gillis.
Indeed, that would be Gillis, and I'm not sure exactly what happened to him. So let's see. As they go through the corner, he just gets loose, coming off of 4, just as you said. And then he still, he gets more than loose. He spins that thing right around.
I tell you what, Andrew Staub, I thought he was going around right there. He jumped to the right, and I thought he was going around, but that was a great save.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at what Staub saw. This is from On Board with Staub. See the 13 and see Danielson get into the side and then stab just right through that. So another horseshoe, another stashed away in a full send car, and that he's now up into 17th spot. So, whew,
we'll probably need a new pair of pants down in the pits. I'm gonna pay for a new pair.
Have to send down a new pair of britches for Staub, but Brian Jones doing a fabulous job leading here onto our 5th caution. We're going to step aside for just a moment, catch our breath. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the end of Stage 2. Lots more great green flag action coming at you. Just stay tuned. And welcome back here, VirtualRacing.Network. As we watch out here on the track, you can see Brian Jones choosing, as well as Sean Briscoe. That puts Briscoe on the outside and Brian Jones on the inside as they head through turns 1 and 2. And we actually have a surprise. Christian was able to track down one of our gnomes with a camera, and in fact, there he is, George the gnome with a camera. He's there on the inside of the turn, and you can see this is, he's following them around. He must be one of the drone gnomes following them around the track as they go around. That's some good work there. There he is as a drone following them around. So you can see we spare no expense here on VirtualRacing.Network, and we appreciate that. Great job of getting that. Great job, Christian. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, you need to raise.
Oh, me, oh, my. Well, this is how you pass the time when there's 6 cautions and 53 laps. Brian Jones out there for Brian Powell Motorsports doing a fabulous job. Sean Briscoe back to where he qualified in 2nd place. Cody Reeder up 15 spots into 3rd. And Jacob Gladelich, already a winner here in the NORA Truck Series, sitting there in 4th place. We're back underway here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And Briscoe already trying to challenge, or getting a challenge rather, from Cody Reeder, and Reeder now poking through. There goes Reeder in that KPR Motorsports number 85, make it 16 positions he's gained. Here comes Todd Slauson. Now,
I was just about to say, Todd gonna follow him through. Look at this.
great restart for Todd Slauson. He's managed to get through Jacob Gladelich, and now
Jacob
he
got loose.
He did get loose and got really close down to that apex. That was almost a total disaster back there for Gladelich, as we're continuing to watch this side-by-side battle for third place between Briscoe and Slauson. Now, looks like Briscoe able to take that position back. And it runs Jones, Reeder, Briscoe, Slauson, and Dixon as we work our way towards our second stage, which will be at the start of lap number 60. So we've got just 3 more laps here after this to decide the second stage. Briscoe racing just on the high side there, and Slauson behind in 4th place. Slauson having one of his best runs of the season. Tyler Dixon also having a really great run for Kingdom Motorsports, now up 15 spots in that 79 Chevy. He's holding tight here with the rest of the group. We'll see whether or not he can stay there. 3 wide in the meantime. Back here between, that was Conover, Norman, and Schertz for a moment. And now Schertz tucks in behind, but Conover and Norman continue to fight it out. Just in front, that's Brad Fulham. He's now taking a look at the backside there of Eric Sable and Jacob Gladelich, who fight it out for that 5th position. You can see Conover now getting into that mix. Conover going to try to push the issue. Is he going to take a look inside of Eric Sable for the JRC Sim team? Not sure, but we've got just 2 more laps remaining until the end of stage number 2. Gladelich holding.
It looks like Reeder may have caught Jones.
He is certainly tracking well to possibly catch and pass him. He's just sitting a little over 1/10 of a second back, just two truck lengths back at the moment. I think Reeder's going to try the high side. As we work our way down, this is the final lap of this stage. I don't know if he'll have enough to try to take that position. He'll send it.
Oh, he's under him. He flipped up a little bit, Brian Jones.
Jones did, but it looks like Jones takes that stage, and Reeder second. Sean Briscoe in 3rd place. Todd Slauson for Full Send Motorsports taking 4th. And Tyler Dixon for Kingdom Motorsports in 5th.
Yeah, and all 3 of those guys needed those points. You know, Briscoe trying to lock himself in on points instead of winning needs as much as he can get. Todd needs as many points as he can get to catch up to 10th place, where he's in right now. He's in 11th. And Tyler Dixon, this is just good for him to be in the top 5 to get points as well.
Well, Slauson, one of those drivers who has a mathematical chance at the points still, even though he's outside of that top 10. So certainly the fire is lit under Todd and a number of these other drivers. You know, Brian as well. Brian not able to make it to a lot of the Tuesday night races. We're catching him out. So I think every time that he's out there now, he just wants to win and just pack on the points. You know, also it's kind of surprising that Jones hasn't been able to put more wins to his credit this season, and I think that's another thing that we might see more of as the remainder of the season pours on, as Jones is one of the absolute top drivers, as I've mentioned, and he just doesn't seem to be able to get those W's, but it will happen soon enough. Here's Brian Jones leading an entire train of trucks here as we are under this caution for stage number 2.
What do you think we should talk?
That's a good question. Can we talk? Do you want to dare curse one of your own drivers?
You know what? Yeah. Hopefully we don't curse him, but yeah, it would be nice to talk to Todd Slauson.
Well, let's go ahead and make that happen. Certainly I have permission from the owner to do that this time out, so if anything goes wrong, it's all on him. Did Cody Reeder get out in front? No, just barely. Brian Jones able to get out in front. Cody Reeder in 2nd. Sean Briscoe in third, Todd Slauson in fourth. And
Go ahead and dial him up here, see if he can talk with us. Hey, Todd Slauson, it's Christian and Trevor up in the booth. You got us?
Hey guys, what's up? I got you.
Well, you finished fourth in the stage there, collecting as many points as you can. You're on the outside looking in. What do you got to do tonight to lock yourself in?
I gotta win this bad boy. That's the only way I'm gonna get myself in, I believe. But I'm having a good run here. Trying to keep this thing on the bottom, keep the tires on it. Quite a bit of grip in the track tonight. I was not expecting to have this much grip. It's way more throttle time than I was expecting, so it's been fun. Looking forward to the end of this race and gonna try and hang in there and get me a top 5 at least.
We keep seeing people get loose out of turn 4. Is that like something you're dealing with, or what's going on in turn 4?
It seems like the first 3 or 4 laps on fresh tires is when I've experienced that, and it's random. Yeah, you don't feel it coming, and all of a sudden it busts loose, and it's hard to catch on those cold tires. I seen Josh had a problem with that just a little while earlier, so it's been a little sketchy at first.
All right, well, you're going to be coming to 1 to go here, so we'll let you go. But as a team owner, great job out there getting 4th place in the stage 1 there, bud.
Appreciate it. We need these points badly.
All right, we'll let you go. Thanks for talking with us.
so that was cool to get a chance to talk with Todd. Obviously, he's focused on trying to get those points here at Charlotte and trying to add to his total. I mean, Christian, I don't know if you've been talking to him about points, but that seems to be his focus. He wants the points. He wants the win. He's after it tonight. We'll see whether Todd can stick around here in this 3rd stage and get on up there. But, hey, he's had a great run so far. I mean, it's not that far from 4th to 1st. What do you think?
I hope he can get it done. You know, we've been in the playoffs every year that we've been in NORA. At least someone on our team has. So hopefully we're able to get one car in this year. It would be great to get all 3, but I got to keep my expectations realistic. But yeah, we talked this today before the race during practice, and we were talking about points being so important, stage points and everything, and you know, hopefully they're able to get the job done tonight.
Well, there's obviously a lot of drivers out there that would love to score that victory. As I've mentioned, I mean, even some of the favorites like Jones and Briscoe, as you said, Briscoe not taking victory so far, and I just find that absolutely shocking. But,
Yeah.
I mean, there you see it on your screen. No wins to his name, just 1 pole position thus far. And it's shocking for a driver of that caliber, but you know, again, a lot of these drivers going to be out there for different reasons trying to go for that win. Cody Reeder has a lot to say about it for the KPR Motorsports team. But right now, 6 different teams represented in the top 6. So if you wanted to know how competitive it is and whether everybody's got a shot here in the NORA Truck Series, it absolutely is true. Doesn't matter if you are operating a Ford, a Toyota, or a Chevy, because that's our top 3 right now.
And here we come back to the restart zone. Brian Jones, Sean Briscoe, Cody Reeder, and Todd Slauson, the top 4, and we are green again.
Absolutely green. And we are go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Brian Jones out to that early lead. Cody Reeder and Sean Briscoe just behind, vying for position. Tyler Dixon now up into this mix, and Josh Conover, Eric Sable. And now we've managed to summarily curse Todd Slauson, who's immediately dropped back to 7th. Now these drivers all... Oh, we've got... Is that Gladilich around? No. Joey Stats. There he is, still sliding through the grass for Nightmare Motorsports. I thought I saw Gladilich kind of wiggle there, but Fortunately, he did not lose it. Let's take a look here at what sent stats around. Oh, and that... Who's that other truck that was spinning?
That was Staub.
So that was Andrew Staub. So Staub and Stats having issues here in coming back to the green flag. And really just coming off of the corner. Let's take a look here at Staub, and we'll get a chance to see exactly what happened from his perspective. It's coming off the corner. It's just the same thing. Coming fresh tires off of turn 4, and Staub just sends it around.
Doesn't look like too much damage. He should be good to continue.
Yeah, just took a little hit from Stats as he managed to collect him just a little bit, but he'll get it going again. And
not too much money out of the virtual budget.
No. In fact, 17-year-old Nebraska driver able to keep it off the wall and continue. And so, back to it. We'll be coming back to the green flag here momentarily. Brian Jones, Cody Reeder, Sean Briscoe, Tyler Dixon, and now Josh Conover up into that 5th spot. Eric Sable for the JRC Sim Team in 6th. Todd Slauson in 7th. Torrin Schertz for BS Motorsports in 8th. Jacob Gladelich, Brian Powell Motorsports in 9th. And Brad Fulham for Full Send is back in 10th. And here's another guy in the field that we haven't been talking about tonight. He's been just sitting outside the top 10, but Cody Height on YouTube, as he's known. He's a streamer, and certainly you can pick up his stream occasionally over on YouTube. You could have both of them going if you wanted to, or certainly head on over there after the race and check out his replay. But always an animated character, and he does all kinds of cool content on his streams. And certainly if anyone else out there is doing any streaming and you haven't already let me know about it, definitely let us know. We'll put in a plug for you, let people know about your YouTube channel. And certainly we'll also be happy to subscribe to you. We love seeing what all of these drivers are up to and see from their point of view. And also there's a way we might be able to get like a live stream of their stream up here at the same time. In fact, I could try to make that work. I wonder if Height is streaming right now. I'll have to see if I can pull that up.
I was going to actually bring that up to see like an in-car camera almost type view. Would be pretty cool.
Well, we'll see if I can make that happen. It is entirely possible. But either way, good stuff going on here tonight. A lot of great racing. An unfortunate lot of cautions. But that's the way that goes for the moment. So we'll watch and see whether or not that gets cleaned up here tonight.
I do want to mention real quickly, Eric Sable is no longer running for owner's points. He is running for a championship now here in the Truck Series.
Oh, well, that's terrific. I wonder do we need to update our end of it? I appreciate you letting me know.
Yeah, good old Ronnie let me know to let you know. So.
Of course he let you know. He didn't tell me. Oh, yeah.
He just messaged me and let me know. And that's going to actually shake things up because Sable is the type of guy who can win. We've seen it already. So the win last week, I don't think counts because he wasn't running for points yet. But now, if he wins again, he will get into the playoffs.
Bet he wishes he could go back in time and get those points because that would sure count for a lot. Well, magically, due to the power of the interwebs, able to make that correction, and now it shows correctly up there on the screen. So Sable part of the club now, running for drivers points, and we'll see how it works out for him in this championship. Right now he's sitting in 6th place. We'll have to see if he can get up there, and he'll be there in the playoffs because he did take that. Well, no, it won't count though, right? That win won't count to get him into the playoffs.
No, it will not count yet, but if he does win within the next 5 weeks, that's going to take a spot from one of these 4 guys, Sean Briscoe, Tim Harper, Torrin Schertz, or Cody Reeder.
Well, I'm sure none of those people will be pleased to lose a position, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately, with points racing out there.
It's going to make it interesting for sure to see who's going to be able to make it in. There's a possibility we have 10 different winners to get into the playoffs.
So, with that green flag here, as Brian Jones leads us back once again. Cody Reeder in second, Josh Conover in third, Sean Briscoe in fourth, and now Todd Slauson sends it up there and is in fifth.
Yeah, it's actually a really good run right here. Coming to the bottom underneath Briscoe. He's going to look for fourth, Todd Slauson is, but up front, Cody Reeder underneath Brian Jones right now for the lead.
For the lead for the first time, Brian Jones feeling the heat. Here comes Cody Reeder of KPR Motorsports. And
man, that outside.
It seemed like Brian was all set to go. Now we've got Slauson and a number of other trucks in a battle back here a little bit further back. Look at this side-by-side action between that's Schertz and Slauson. The number 33 and the 22 racing side-by-side. Just behind them, Cody Height and Eric Sable.
Oh, 3 wide on back. Jacob Gladelich got loose, and they are 3 wide. Brad Fulham, Jacob, and it looked like the 10.
Lots of racing happening throughout the field.
Looks like Mark Bremkamp trying to work on the outside here of Brad Fulham. Oh, we got trouble.
Tyler Dixon and Torrance Schertz. Schertz is over. Oh my goodness.
Hard hit.
That is a hard hit on the inside wall, and around and over he goes. It looks like he's okay enough to drive off again.
That's the Dale Earnhardt special right there. Flip and keep going.
Actually just saw that.
We are still green.
This weekend. We are green. That is amazing. Dixon and Schertz. Oh, and Schertz blows the engine.
Yeah. Now he won't be able to get it back. But is that going to bring out a caution if he stays on the apron?
I wonder if he... Is it going to bring out the caution? No, it is not. The field goes marching on by. So, back to the front, Brian Jones says, okay, thank you. Well, I guess I'll just lead by 1.4 seconds now. Now the yellow comes out because I think Schertz must have done something. This is what they say caused the caution. Is it because he fully came to a stop? I'm not sure. Maybe he just finally came down to a speed that caused that caution, but now there it is.
We've seen that in real life, you know, whenever they can't get back to the pit, they, you know, stop on track and they have to get towed. But I don't know. I think he should have stopped way down low on like against the inside wall so that we didn't have a caution there. But obviously, if you're keeping it realistic, he needed to be towed to the pit road, so he had to come to a stop.
So Schertz sits there on pit road, and unfortunately, that's going to do it for him tonight. Brian Jones is now going to be in the lead, coming back to the green flag when we come back here on VirtualRacing.Network. So stay tuned here. Lots more green flag action to come. welcome back here to VirtualRacing.Network. Working on lap number 77, about to head into lap number 78 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And of course, this is round number 11 of 26 for the NORA Truck Series 2023. It's been a good race so far. Quite a few cautions, to be honest with you, but there's been a lot of great side-by-side racing in between the cautions, and we've seen all of the front runners kind of emerge now at the front. So quite a few drivers that are right there. I mean, I count 5 top drivers in the top 5 right now. Any one of them could take victory here tonight, and certainly are of that caliber that they could do that. So as we watch on, always great to have you out there in YouTube chat land. I saw Nick Geilis checking in with us as well. Great to have him. Disqualified. My goodness.
He did say that he was disqualified for incident limit, so he will not be competing for the win tonight anymore, and that's unfortunate for the 24 Starry machine.
Indeed, and he says he's traded up to adult beverage, so good.
I would too.
Good on you, and kick up them heels and enjoy it. We'll see you out there again tomorrow night, Nick. And in the meantime, get to watch on and root on your teammates. But here, Sean Briscoe, Eric Sable in those 3rd and 4th positions. Conover going to be starting on the outside of Brian Jones. And we've got still quite a lot of great green flag action in front of us. Brian Jones about to bring it down.
Green's out. Green flag.
And step on that loud pedal. We're green here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Man, it is such an advantage when you are the leader there on those restarts, because look at the gap that he has put on. Like, if you're the other car on the outside, you just got to fire off and guess when he's going to go. That's the only way you're going to stay anywhere near him, as we see Josh Conover making a bold move underneath Sean Briscoe. Todd Slauson side by side with Eric Sable and Cody Reeder behind them here, and Mark Bremkamp now up into the top 10.
Well, and I think that what you just said about wanting to be out there in front, possibly on that restart, some of these smart top-running drivers are going to be considering that for the end of this race. If they were holding back at all, they may want to get up there and try and be in the lead at the end of this race, just for the sake of being able to get that jump on those restarts. But as you can see here, Conover now falling back into 4th place, and Slauson comes calling to try to make that pass. Just behind, that's Cody Reeder and Mark Bremkamp, as you mentioned. Somehow, Bremkamp now up into that 7th spot, and he's also
almost got into the back of Reeder there. It was close.
And here comes Cody Height as well. Height trying to get up there and possibly
Brad Fulham to the inside of Height now. There's battles everywhere.
There truly are battles just about everywhere on the track. This is for 8th place, with Fulham trying to make a challenge here. But back up at the front, this is Brian Jones, who's managed to open up another about 6-7 car length lead over Briscoe and Eric Sable. This is a tight battle here for 2nd place between Briscoe and Sable. Sable up 20 spots from where he started, and Briscoe finally back to where he started. You can see Sean, 33 years old, from Fair Oaks, California. Great to have him in the field, running for Capital Motor Club. And he's putting on a great show here tonight. Of course, he started in 2nd, or was supposed to, but he drifted so much further back, and now looks like Sable about to try to make that move on the inside of the in-and-out truck.
Yeah, Sable looking to break into the top 2 for the first time tonight. We haven't really seen anyone hold a candle to Brian Jones yet, so maybe Sable is that guy.
Well, certainly somebody's going to give a crack at it sooner or later. Jones really has had it figured out here at Charlotte. He's taken both of the stage victories thus far, and he's been able to pretty much dominate these restarts, and that's exactly why I'm saying if any of these drivers feel like they can take the lead, I think this is one of those tracks where you don't want to be worried about somebody being able to come up and get you with a draft move there on the last lap or the second last lap. I think this is definitely one that you want to try to be in the lead and hold down that lead at. And we'll see whether or not one of these drivers can manage to get around. Looking a little bit further back, here's Conover. He's up 4 spots so far tonight in that 4th spot. Just behind him is Todd Slauson, still holding on in 5th. So it's having a really, really super run, that number 22 for Full Send Motorsports. Then you've got Cody Reeder for KPR and Cody Height now up into that 7th spot. So Height finally not only cracking the top 10, but he's looking for more here towards the end of the race.
And we got side-by-side action behind them. Brad Fulham and Mark Bremkamp side-by-side. And it looks like Ronnie Norman about to have company from, I believe that's Craig Schroeder.
So a lot of these drivers able to make something out of nothing here tonight. A lot of these drivers up double digits in terms of where they started and where they're at now. Bremkamp up 15 spots, Fulham up 5 spots, Cody Height 5 spots, Cody Reeder 12 spots. You know, the list goes on and on. These drivers, maybe not the fastest qualifying efforts from them, but able to really race their way up forward and start looking at maybe a potential top 5 finish here tonight. Meanwhile, up front, this is still a close battle as Eric Sable is starting to get closer and closer to Brian Jones. Jones had quite a lead over Briscoe a moment ago, and now it's Jones who's starting to feel the heat from Sable. And this is exactly what we've been talking about as far as, you know, Eric Sable seems to know just the right things to do here in the NORA Truck Series to be able to get up there and challenge for that lead. And here he comes, calling on Brian Jones, one of the best in the NORA truck business.
Yeah, and we were talking about it earlier. No one's been able to pass Brian Jones on the track. I think the only time he was passed was in pit road for 1 or 2 laps. So it's going to be interesting because we do have green flag stops if there's no more caution, because we cannot go the full distance from here on fuel.
So one more round of stops ahead of us, but Eric Sable's still going pretty much lights out, just trying to get up there and take that position away from Brian Jones. You look on
Got
now.
A battle for third there.
You can
Josh Conover.
Absolutely, you can see this battle now happening just behind between Conover, who's taking that position away from Briscoe. So perhaps tire degradation playing a role here after all, as Conover able to get the better of Briscoe in that maneuver. Wondering if Briscoe's tire is starting to go off since he started pushing so hard to get up here towards the front. Slauson just behind, a little bit of a gap, but watching on as Briscoe and Conover try to fight it out for that 3rd spot on the track. Right now, Todd Slauson thinking, this is pretty good to be in 5th place. And hey, welcome back to 6th position, Brad Fulham. Just joining his teammate ahead, Todd Slauson, in 5th and 6th place. And right now, they are looking at potential top finishes, I believe, so far this season. In the meantime, just behind here, we've got Harper and Bremkamp battling it out for 9th place. Harper finally cracking into this top 10 once again. He's been involved in an incident earlier. Now he's going to give another shot, I think, possibly to Ronnie Norman just ahead in that 8th position.
Yeah, you can see pretty heavy damage to the right side of Harper. We saw Norman just a few laps ago. He was in 11th. So he passed 3 trucks in the last couple of laps and is now up to 8th.
Well, certainly when Ronnie Norman is feeling it in that truck or the Cup car, he knows how to make passes happen pretty quickly. As we watch on here, these two about to do battle for that 8th spot, I believe. And then it's about 7/10 of a second up to Cody Reeder. So quite a bit of a gap for either one of these drivers to overcome. Up in front, still the gap remains about the same. Haven't seen Sable try to necessarily take that look yet for the position, but Sable is close enough to take advantage should Brian Jones have any issues. You know, one driver that we haven't been seeing having those loose off a turn 4 issues is Brian Jones.
Yeah, I believe Brian Jones and Sable haven't really seen that looseness, but Sable is right there, man. He's going to look to the outside. He may get it done here.
He's going to try that high side, and in fact, that's what Brian Jones has been making work all night. Is he going to be able to get it done on the high side? That's the question. He's holding tough on that outside as Brian Jones keeps that truck pinned to the inside and still manages to keep it side by side as they head through turns 1 and 2. That's giving Josh
to catch up. Yep.
Absolutely.
Here he comes.
Josh knows when there's a possible opportunity, and Eric Sable has now been the first one to challenge and take over that lead position from Brian Jones just as the yellow flag comes out. And guess who it is? Ronnie Norman.
Oh no. The fan club has just screamed at me.
Well, I didn't do it. But indeed, the Ronnie Norman fan club, Steven, over in our YouTube chat room, you might want to avert your eyes here. Now, first we see...
They're screaming, no, please.
This was Zach Hollinger coming into the pits. I wasn't sure if this was a possible reason why the yellow flag did come out. But let's take a look at what happened to Ronnie Norman. This was Ronnie Norman, and I see Jacob Gladelich in the mix of this. See if we can maybe get a little bit closer here. There we go. So, and it does look like it's Gladelich who, well, we'll back.
I don't, did he maybe turn down a little bit? I'll have to see that again. Okay, so here he comes off of turn 2. Oh, yeah. And that, believe it or not, Jacob Gladelich races for JRC Sim in the Cup Series. So those are kind of teammates right there.
Well, that's going to be an interesting conversation between those two. Obviously, certainly nothing intended by that. But let's go ahead and take a look at what... This is a little bit too late, so let's see what it looked like from Gladelich's point of view.
It almost looked like he... Oh.
I mean,
wow.
It's like Gladelich gets a run on him, and it's almost like something happens to Ronnie that slows him down a little bit. I mean...
Oh, you know what? He told me a couple weeks ago he was having an issue where his shifter was shifting him down on its own, so maybe that could possibly be what happened.
Well, let's listen along here. I'll put it in the cockpit and let's see if we can tell. Yep, that is exactly what happened. As you hear those RPMs rocket up there for a split second, and lucky he didn't blow the engine immediately, but oh, that is too unfortunate. So he is using a separate shifter then.
Well, I think it's his paddles. I think there's a shortage, he said, in the wiring, or something like that. He said he fixed it, but evidently not. That's unfortunate.
Absolutely unfortunate. And we're going to have to, well, that's, I mean, when it's costing you races, and who knows, that could have happened earlier as well to Ronnie, but it didn't wipe him out. Hey, it's just like real life. I mean, you can miss a shift, something go wrong with the gearbox. I mean, anything can happen. Usually these gearboxes in the trucks in the Cup Series are pretty bulletproof, but, you know, little things can happen. And, you know, certainly... We've
seen Hendrick have issues with it popping out of gear just randomly, so that's kind of what just happened to him there.
Exactly. So... unfortunate stuff for Ronnie Norman and Steven Dombrowski.
He's not happy.
Yeah, pretty obvious to me, steering wheel glitch. Indeed, that is what happened. Ronnie said his wheel downshifted on him. Appreciate that, Nick. Confirmation over there. It's like I said, it's just one of those sad things that you know, there's no matter how much you practice. I mean, I've got a particular glitch with my sim rig that I still can't quite track down. You know, no matter how much I practice, no matter how many races I put in the meantime, just randomly in a race, it will freeze up on the screen, just for about 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and then it'll go back. And so I wish I could say I
have
knew.
that same issue.
You do?
Yeah, if you can tell me whenever you find out what happens, let me know.
I
'Cause I have the same thing.
I've been literally looking for it for years. I have defragged everything. I've gone through my hardware. I literally cannot figure out what it is. But it's just the little things like that. See, I think I know what it is. It's well,
iRacing just doesn't like you.
I mean, I was gonna say that
It might be.
it's
Yeah.
but it may be the gnomes.
Oh,
Because
I didn't think about that.
see, you've got all these little gnomes inside your computer. It's not really, there's no actual processing unit. It's really just a whole team of gnomes that are in there that are turning gears and making everything happen. And so, obviously, I've upset one of the gnomes, and
Yeah, I mean, Jeff had one job. He had one job.
you know, I mean, you try to hire the best that you can, but when it comes down to gnomes, you only have so many. So, pretty much got to take whoever's going to show up. But Brian Jones out there in the lead here at Charlotte, about to bring us back to the green here. Unfortunately for Ronnie Norman, his evening cut short. Did he manage to get it going again? He is still on the lead lap.
I didn't get to see. Did some of these guys pit and some stay out? Because there's a shakeup up toward the front.
Yeah, definitely. We got quite a few. Keegan Bitzer, Josh Conover, Andrew Stab, a number of these drivers did make it into the pits. Back to green flag action, so I'm guessing that the ones in the front that did not make it into the pits they're saying they want the track position. They're not going to give it up. I can tell you who. Well, I do see that Brian Jones did make it into the pits. So,
okay.
Jones Sable runs him. He did move him. And
Cody Reeder in trouble too.
Gladilich off the track. We've got a number of drivers having issues. Here's Brad Fulham.
Oh no.
Cody Reeder having a moment off the track. There's Tim Harper.
Still no caution though.
Cody Dorsey.
I can't believe that wasn't a caution.
And still no caution has come out. You can see Brian Jones now has slipped back into that third position. Conover now into second. Racing side by side. It looks like
Jones into the wall.
Jones absolutely brushes the wall, and it goes from first to fourth just like that.
I think he was driving mad and just kind of overstepped his boundary and got into the wall there because I tell you what, Brian Jones, he does not like getting moved, and Eric Sable moved him. There is no doubt about that. But there's nothing wrong with moving. Rubbin's racing, I say, right?
I leave all that to the administration team to decide what is appropriate behavior and not. That's why they make rules and penalties for these sorts of reviews. And if there are no penalties assessed, then nothing wrong was done. Everything that's within the scope of the rules is apparently fair game. So, you know, comes down to how you want to race and what you decide to do out there. But Sable took advantage of the opportunity. And I personally, what I think happened was Jones kind of drifted up the track, and Sable was close enough that he just couldn't quite clear him and possibly got into him. But now side by side with Conover and Sable, Conover marches ahead.
Was that maybe team orders there? Because that's JRC Sim Team behind Josh Conover. So was that team orders, hey, let me take the lead here?
Well, certainly Sean Briscoe for the Capital Motor Club, not part of those team orders. He splits these two drivers up, and now Briscoe up into that second position.
Hey, keep an eye here. Brian Jones catching up to Sable. Could there be retaliation here? We've seen it earlier this season.
That is true. Jones and Harper had their feelings.
Oh, look at this.
Here comes
around the outside of Brian Jones.
And here comes Briscoe for the lead. Slauson now closes in on this lead group as they battle it out side by side. Briscoe takes over the lead from Conover. Here comes Eric Sable on the inside of Conover. If you thought there were team odors, apparently Sable didn't hear it, and he's now taking over that position, now up into second place. And here comes Todd Slauson into this mix, and right behind him, Brian Jones.
There is 5 trucks under a blanket here for the lead. This race getting real good here.
That's Sean Briscoe for the Capital Motor Club up in front. He's managed to take over the lead, as it was Eric Sable who's the one who did the moving of Brian Jones just a couple of laps ago. But Briscoe now up on the point, and he's pulled out a couple of car lengths now over Sable as they work their way down the backstretch. Conover in that third spot. Todd Slauson hanging strong in fourth now. Brian Jones in fifth. Just outside of this, behind you see Tyler Dixon for Kingdom Motorsports. Behind that, Mark Bremkamp, Jacob Gladelich, Cody Height, and Ronnie Norman. That is your top 10. So Norman recovering with no issues. You can see Cody Reeder.
That truck is not looking good. We saw him get loose earlier, involved in a wreck, and he was the one that we were questioning why the caution didn't come out. And apparently took out 2 other trucks with him. I believe Timmy Harper and Brad Fulham were the 2 trucks that were collected.
It's amazing how things can go from being battling for the lead to all of a sudden you're a lap down, but that's kind of the name of the game here in iRacing, in real life racing as well. Brian Jones, he was in the lead, and now he's faced with possibly a little bit of damage from scraping the wall on the outside, but certainly some damaged feelings as he got moved out of the way, now having to race in that 5th spot. I tell you what, if we get another caution and it's another strong restart, you watch for that Brian Jones. He's possibly going to go up there and have some words with Eric Sable. But in the meantime, just enough of a gap there between Jones and Slauson that he can't quite get up there and make anything happen. And so right now, running 1, 2, 3, 4, it's Briscoe, Sable, Conover, and Slauson.
Yeah, and I did alert Sable's pit box after this race, so we will have cameras down there if anything happens.
We've got the Gnome team on duty down there in pit road.
Tell you what, all 4 of these trucks, out of these 4, 3 of them not locked into the playoffs. So we were talking all day. Now is the time to get your win and lock yourself in. And there's 3 guys that need it right up front right now.
So it looks like also Tim Harper sitting down here on pit lane. So it looks like that's going to do it for Tim, and also Brad Fulham still sitting down here on pit lane. So just a little update from those 2 drivers. Unfortunate turn of events for them as they had decent races going here tonight, but lost out.
Yeah, I was messaged by Brad, and he said he's very upset. He didn't say that exactly. He said a lot of other words, but he's very upset. So, I mean, he was having his best run of the season so far, and to get collected, that's unfortunate for him.
Well, it's one of those sad events. But here we got Eric Sable challenging for the lead, and he'll slide right on by Sean Briscoe. No moving necessary. He'll take over that lead spot.
Looking back on the outside, almost contact there. Oh man, they got close to the wall, and here we go. Josh Conover, he's in it now. Todd Slauson coming too. These guys side by side, it's allowing these guys to draft up. Well,
it's 20 laps to go. You know what that means? It's sponsored by Snyder Graphics. There you can see facebook.com/Snyder Graphics for all of your paints, wraps, you name it, liveries, whatever you call it, whatever you slap on the outside of one of these trucks or cup cars. Christian Snyder over at Snyder Graphics, happy to paint it for you. Make sure to give him a ring should you need a new one. And again, he can handle these. He can handle probably just about anything. I mean, I imagine you can handle just about any of these templates, right?
Yeah, just about anything. As we see, Josh Conover making a move for second here. And I do want to mention the paint scheme in the lead is a Snyder Graphics car, so you will love those schemes being up front.
That's Snyder Graphics, facebook.com/Snyder Graphics. Get your race-winning paint schemes from Snyder Graphics.
Tell you what, Todd, he's going to catch up to Sean Briscoe here, possibly make a move for his first podium. And I do want to update that Todd isn't only looking for his first win of the season, he's looking for his first win in NORA. He's been here for 4 seasons and hasn't punched his ticket to victory lane. So he is wanting this win bad.
Well, with how he's running here tonight, he's making a move on Sean Briscoe. I mean, he looks like a driver that certainly is qualified to take a race win. We'll see whether or not he can punch that ticket. He's certainly made some noise here tonight. And of course, with that Bass Pro Shops and Menards on there, I feel like he's already been in victory lane, but it's just my memory, my nostalgia memory kicking in. But
yeah, he hasn't been in victory lane. It's shocking to me. Whenever he came over to my team, I had thought he won before. And he said he has never won, and I was shocked by that. So he's looking for the first win of his NORA career, and hopefully he gets it with this team.
Well, and that's really part of the story, too. This is a D-shaped 1.5-mile oval, and this is its own sort of class of oval racing, to be honest. I mean, some drivers really excel at these D-shaped ovals. In Charlotte, Texas, Atlanta, all these tracks, even Las Vegas, they're all similar, slightly different in how you chase them. But if you excel at these D-shaped ovals, you salivate every time that they come up on the schedule. Just one of those types of tracks that you know you can do well at. And some drivers really love them, some drivers don't. But it looks like Todd Slauson really enjoying this opportunity to race here tonight at Charlotte.
Yeah, and actually, backing that story up with, drivers being good at D-shaped ovals, my only 3 wins have come at D-shaped ovals. So I'm kind of one of those drivers that just loves the cookie cutter tracks.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. I mean, it's funny how it works. Some drivers are all about super speedways. Other drivers, they love their short tracks. So it's just whatever clicks with you as a driver. And then you've got these other drivers like Briscoe, Conover, Sable, who just week in and week out, it's their comfort level. Doesn't matter what kind of race it is, doesn't matter what kind of track it is, they're going to rise to the top every week. And certainly we've been seeing drivers like Slauson, Gladelich, Mark Bremkamp, other drivers that are right there as well and improving, it seems like, every single week, climbing up into that top 10, getting right up there towards that top 5. But this could be the night that Todd Slauson breaks through with not only a top 5, but a 4th, and who knows, maybe a shot at a 3rd before this one's over. In the meantime, up in the front, 22 positions gained for the JRC Sim Team driver. He's got that number 9 Ford pinned at the front, a couple of car lengths over Josh Conover, his, the namesake of the JRC Sim Team, but not officially his teammate over at Flatline Motorsports. Conover having a great run here as well, up 6 spots from where he qualified. And I think Josh has had some adversity also in the NORA series. Hasn't all been, daisies and roses. And we've got another Ronnie Norman incident. This time he's now in the pits. And
maybe another downshift here. We'll have to see.
Indeed, where there's smoke, there's fire, and
oh no, he's just off the pace.
To see if we can figure out exactly what happened here.
He could be trying to reset his shifter, get it out into the right gear. Then he pulls off against the wall, and it still brings out a caution, so I'm kind of surprised by that. maybe his pedals completely disconnected because it didn't look like he was on his brakes at all until right there at the end.
See if that's wrong car, unfortunately. We'll see if we can go back one lap. We'll go back one lap and let's see if we can hear from Ronnie whether it's the same thing. Yep. Oh, in fact, he grenades the engine.
Oh, wow.
So, absolutely grenades that engine, and Norman jumps to the pits. I also see that Nick Geilis has jumped back to the pits as well. Thought he was...
I'll have to actually talk to Ronnie after this race, see if he needs my wheel for a couple races while he gets that fixed.
Yeah, that's a big issue. Now, all of the top drivers have made it into the pits. Christian, this is a big pit stop right now.
Yeah, and we got to see if maybe someone's willing to gamble here. Take 2 tires, and Todd Slauson does. He is the new leader of the race. I talked to him earlier. I said maybe it's worth trying to get a win. Take 2 and try it, and he does.
Well, with 9 laps to go, it'll be about 7 by the time they go green. That may be your race-winning move here. Your Abby Sweet Treat race-winning move, potentially, coming out of the pits, taking just 2 tires, and I assume Bremkamp did the same. 9.45 for Bremkamp in the box.
Cody Height, too.
And Cody Height.
Also, yeah.
Absolutely saving time in the box by only taking 2 tires. Everyone else takes 4. I mean, we'll have to see. It could come back to haunt them, but maybe not. And again, one of the advantages that we've been seeing by starting at that lead is you do get a good chance to get a jump. And it's not an automatic draft for the other trucks to be able to sneak up there and get you automatically, you know, on the next lap or so, as it is at some tracks. So really, you pull a couple of seconds or you pull a second lead off of the front, if you can, over Bremkamp and Height, and put them between you and Sable and Conover, there's a chance you can stay off there off the front, even if your tires start to go. Might be able to defend this one till the end, but Slauson's got his work cut out for him. Second place right now, Mark Bremkamp. He's having a heck of a run as well, 22 positions up now, and this is just some amazing strategy to happen here at the end, all brought on by that late caution. Cody Height now in third. So
real quick, I do want to update. Eric Sable is locked in, so there are only 3 spots left. They are counting his win from last week.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So now with only 3 people left, I believe that puts Cody Reeder outside looking in as well. Which, at this point in the season, that's incredible that Cody Reeder hasn't won yet.
Yeah, that is quite amazing that Reeder has not yet won, but you know, it's coming, and you just know that it's coming, whether it's here or in the Cup Series. It's just a matter of time. Some amazing stuff here in the NORA Truck Series. We're going to take a momentary break. We'll be right back here on Virtual Racing. Stay tuned. You'll want to see this finish. And welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. So great to be with you here in the booth. I'm Trevor Greenfield, joined alongside by Christian Snyder. It's round number 11 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're in the closing stages, just the final 6 laps to go here at the line, and there's been a big shakeup as Todd Slauson, Mark Bremkamp came down to get service on pit road with everyone else, but they just took 2 tires, as well as Cody Height, and then that leaves Eric Sable, Josh Conover, and Tyler Dixon, as well as Sean Briscoe, Andrew Stab back there. All these drivers with much fresher tires on their left sides of their trucks. Who will it be that will take victory here tonight? Christian, it could be your driver, Todd Slauson.
Green's out. Green flag. Green flag.
It very well could be a great jump for Todd here. And the guy with 4 fresh tires, Eric Sable, not that good of a start. Josh Conover going to look underneath him here.
Bremkamp and Cody Height battling it out. Height now moves into that second spot. Following him is Josh Conover. Conover going to take a look on Height, but Height is not willing to budge. He holds that truck in second place. Now 3 wide, as you see Briscoe down to the inside as well. Now 3 wide as Conover in the mix, almost 4 wide. Eric Sable, Josh Conover now up at the front. They're going to try to give it all they can. Just 5 laps to go, and we've got Brian Jones off the track. Brian Jones brings out the yellow.
Caution.
5 laps remain. I think we're just going to see a green-white checker here at the end of this one. I believe it was Gladelich and Jones that make contact. Gladelich continuing. Let's see if we can step back here and figure this out. There's Jones on the inside, Gladelich on the outside.
And Andrew in the middle here. It gets 4 wide and just not enough room for it. And then Jacob gets turned into Brian Jones. We saw Cody Height get loose out of 4, and that's kind of what set that up. Kind of being slower down the front stretch. They tried getting underneath them, and 4 wide does not work in the quad here.
I'm just amazed that we could even think about going 4 wide. I mean, if you saw 3 trucks there, just don't put yourself there on the fourth line of that. But Cody Height, unfortunately, going all the way from second place at the moment, or where he was at that moment, all the way back to 7th place on the track. But I'll tell you what, this is going to make it really difficult for your boy Slauson, because he's going to have to start alongside of Sable here or Conover. It's going to be really difficult.
And the worry also, we've seen Sable be super aggressive here. He does already have a win. Josh already has a win. Slauson the only one in the top 3 without a win. I need to call Josh up and be like, hey, how much do I gotta pay you?
Oh my goodness.
Let him win. Come on, let him have it.
Guyless saying Eric locked in via his win at North Wilkesboro. Appreciate that. Bump and run is legal, but also from RC point, didn't look like contact, just close, and 45 wiggled. Well, again,
that was earlier when we saw Eric Sable move the 45.
Right. Well, and that's what we're looking at here. I mean, if Slauson...
Oh, he's going to block, so he's probably getting moved.
He ain't going to give that one up very easy at all. Certainly, Slauson really wants this win. I mean, he could taste it. Wouldn't you do everything that you could do to try to hang? I mean, Christian, if you're up there in the lead, you got green-white checkers. I mean, tell me you're not doing absolutely everything to defend and try and take this victory here in NORA.
Right now, for Todd, it's checkers or wreckers. Second doesn't matter. Third doesn't matter. Winning is the only thing that locks him in.
Well,
I tell you what,
wait. Now, technically, you said that points could get him in.
Not anymore now that Sable won. Now he's completely out of it.
Oh, I see. Well, then that does change things. So,
yes, it does.
Now it's Slauson going for the win. Sable is already in, but he's looking for a win here. And he's already possibly turned one of the drivers that was in the lead. So this could be very exciting restart. I don't think you're going to want to miss it. Pace light's still on the safety car, so we're going to get one more lap around next time. But we take a look back through the field. Bremkamp has drifted back behind Sean Briscoe. Bremkamp now finding himself in 5th place. Tyler Dixon for Kingdom Motorsports back here in 6th. And this is also going to give us a good chance here. Here's Keegan Bitzer, who's managed to get up in the top 10 again. Cody Dorsey, Craig Schroeder now in the top 10. So congrats to these drivers. Managed to emerge here at the front. In the meantime, going to give us a good chance here to chat about Abby Sweet Treats Home Bakery. Some of the sweetest artistic cookies that you have ever had. They taste so good. They'll make you feel great. You got the cake pops. You got all the cookies. You got the pies. You got brownies, mermaid cookies. I know, Christian, you're going for the mermaid cookies. But you can get just about anything. There's Abby. She'll cook them up for you. And she's operating out of Plymouth, Minnesota. You can give her a phone call. Number's right there. abcob@gmail.com. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram. Hey, you know, a lot of guys out there. You know, it's a good chance if you know, want to surprise your better half. That's a good way to do it. Get her some, you know, well thought out cookies or some cake pops or some, you know, a nice Oreo pie or something. You know, or give her the information, let her go and visit, and next thing you know, you got cookies. See how that works? It's a win-win situation. But either way, we are ready for a sweet treat of a finish here, Christian. We're going to get green.
Did it get hotter in this booth? Oh, man. Whew. I'm sweating and I ain't even driving.
Todd Slauson of Full Send Motorsports. It's been a long time coming, but can he hold on here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for his first NORA win? He's in the right place to do it. He's going to have a couple of really difficult... He's got 3 of the toughest competitors in this series, in all of NORA, right now breathing down his neck. Sable, Conover, and Briscoe. That is a lot of pressure, but Slauson might be able to do it. He didn't come in and take on 4 tires. He took on 2. Is he going to get a run here and a jump on Sable and Conover?
Green flag, green flag.
He does get a little bit of a jump. Coming to that green flag.
This is good that Josh and Sable are side by side. If they can stay like that, they're not going to be able to catch them and pass them. Josh Conover may make it 3 wide though, coming out of the corner. Let's see what he does. Todd going to block it low. Can't block twice. You can't block twice.
Todd's going to hold that low line into turn number 3. If he can just hold it until start-finish before a caution comes out. If a caution comes out, it'll be all Todd Slauson. He's holding that low line, and he'll lead at the line. So if a caution comes out, this one is over. The white flag is in the air. This is the last lap. Sable trying to do it on the outside. Slauson defending the inside. Just 2 more corners to go for Todd Slauson at Full Send Motorsports. Sable tries to take it on the inside, but Slauson holds it. No go for Sable. Slauson holds on, and Christian. Oh no! He gets wrecked at the line. And the trucks flip, and that gives Tyler Dixon the win. Andrew Stabb for Full Send Motorsports in 2nd, and Mark Bremkamp in 3rd.
No. But yes at the same time, but no.
Oh, I can't even believe it. Another insane finish here in the NORA Truck Series. I just don't even believe it. Tyler Dixon for Kingdom Motorsports. I was going to try to bring it up, but he had somehow gotten himself into 4th. And, you know, it's the Jacob Gladelich approach. He's just at the right place at the right time. Oh, my goodness me. Well, let's...
what a finish.
What a finish indeed, and my apologies to you and Todd Slauson.
Well, I think what happened going into 3, or coming out of 4, he got loose. You can see it right there. He's already sideways, and he gathers it up and tries blocking Sable high, but he didn't know that Josh was also there, and just kind of put himself into the wall right here. And I think if he didn't turn up, I think he had it. Oh, man.
Well, I tell you what, we talked about it with Slauson there during the stage break, and we mentioned that some of the drivers were getting loose coming off of turn 4, and he managed to avoid it all the way through the rest of the race, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to get away with it there the very final lap coming through. I can't believe it, but I think he got a little too low, potentially. If we just back it up, we can take a look. I think he just gets a little too low, possibly down onto that paint. It's tough to say. Maybe not quite.
I don't think he got low enough because the paint has some grip. So if you get your left side tires on the paint, you're going to do a little bit better. But, oh, man. And there was a car that landed on top of Todd. Who, I think that was Craig Schroeder, landed on top of him.
Well,
my goodness.
Conover taken out in that incident.
Yeah, Eric Sable as well.
Eric Sable as well. So let's see if we can tell. We'll watch from on board a couple of cameras here. Or a couple of cars. So we'll start with on board with Eric Sable. This is what he saw from the cockpit.
I mean, in Todd's mind, he has to go up there and cover that. Man.
And unfortunately, that's how sad it would be to finish that close to the start-finish line. And you see the fireworks going off, but they're not for you. Let's take a look here at what it looked like from on board with Josh Conover.
It looked like Sean Briscoe was going to win it, but someone came down and turned him up into the wall, and that's kind of what allowed Tyler Dixon to sneak through. So we can watch his on board next. You can see all three of them up high. He goes down low, but he gets hooked right there. And there you see Dixon and Bremkamp going by. Wow, wild ride.
Oh, absolutely wild ride. Now, let's take a look from our eventual race winner. Now, you're Tyler Dixon here, and you're running in, it looks like 5th place at the moment. Yeah. And you're thinking, okay, maybe get 5th, maybe get 4th. Watch how quickly this happens. And I tell you what, you couldn't have dreamed it up any better if you were Tyler Dixon. There's no way you would actually think the top 4 positions would take each other out coming to the start-finish line. But that's what happens, and those fireworks are for you, Tyler Dixon. An amazing finish here for the NORA Truck Series, and Tyler Dixon taking the win. Unbelievable stuff as we see yet another amazing finish here of these drivers in the NORA Truck Series. Andrew Stab.
Real quick.
Yeah.
All 3 of the top 3 start with a number 7. I just realized that.
Well, that's
kind of ironic.
Some interesting numerology, and you still ended up with a Full Send Motorsports driver on the podium. So congratulations to Full Send Motorsports, able to still take a podium. Congratulations to Andrew Stab. Mark Bremkamp, of course, he was one of those 3 drivers who only took the 2 tires during that stop, and as a result, he brings it home 3rd. So that is some awesome stuff. We're going to go through your final results and then have a chance to chat with our top 3 finishers in our Abby Sweet Treats Victory Circle discussion. Congratulations to Tyler Dixon of Kingdom Motorsports, who somehow plays the Survivor game, is sitting there in 5th place, and manages to come through and take the victory. Awesome stuff for him, and he'll punch his ticket into the NORA playoffs. Andrew Stab with a 2nd place. Didn't think he was going to get 2nd from 6th, but there he is for Full Send Motorsports. Unfortunately, it came at the cost of another Full Send Motorsports driver winning the race, but he'll take 2nd. Mark Bremkamp taking 3rd place for BS Motorsports. All 3 of these drivers, their best finish of the season. Cody Height kind of had a problem after that round of that caution, but he managed to recover nicely with this win, or with this turn of events. He managed to get back up into 4th place. Brian Jones in 5th. What more can be said? The guy was out there leading, and unfortunately ended up getting roughed up a bit, taken out of position. and he got some damage to his truck, and ever since then he was not able to get up there and challenge for the lead. He'll have to settle for 5th. Sean Briscoe went flying through the air. He ended up in 6th place. Another rough finish for Briscoe. Again, at times it looked like he was in position to take the win, settling for a 3rd or 4th place here tonight, but he'll have to settle for 6th. Cody Dorsey managing to snag 7th place out of this. Jacob Gladelich in 8th. Cody Reeder in 9th. Craig Schroeder takes 10th place. Todd Slauson, after all that mess, ends up in 11th place. Eric Sable in 12th. Josh Conover in 13th. It's just, they're going to look at these results and they can't believe that they were that close to the start-finish line. They ended up outside the top 10. Keegan Bitzer in 14th. Tim Harper, 15th place. Ronnie Norman, 16th. Brad Fulham in 17th. Zach Hollinger in 18th place. And 19th to Dylan Walterman. 20th to Torrin Schertz. 21st to Joey Stats. 22nd to Nick Geilis, 23rd Corey Danielson, and 24th Blake Freeman, 25th Brady Motes, 26th Todd Schneider, and 27th to Martin Plute. And Brady Motes and Plute, a number of these drivers that you see towards the end of the list, even Ronnie Norman, they all had great trucks here tonight, but it seemed like it was one of those full moon survivor type nights. And I mean, all the way until the checkered flag, Christian, it was like a lot of attrition through this whole race, and then right there at the end, it took Tyler Dixon going from 5th to 1st.
Yeah, this race was this is going on the books as one of the better races. That was a wild finish and just a great race throughout. And man,
well, let's go ahead and see if we can catch up with Mark Bremkamp, who managed. He took only 2 tires there at that final pit stop caution, and it ended up being almost a race winning move, but as a result of the fact that some of the other drivers that had 4 fresh tires were able to get up there. Mark, you drifted a little bit further back, and I'm sure from like 8th place you were thinking, I don't know that this didn't really work out. I guess I'm not gonna get up there. But man, you ended up on the podium anyway. Congratulations on surviving. Congratulations on making the call that you did. And hey, how does it feel to be having a podium here in the NORA Truck Series?
After how this season has been going for me, 3 or 4 laps down early on in the race, I really wasn't too sure what my race was going to be. So being able to be on the podium, that even though I'm not number 1, tonight that's a win for me.
And again, talk us through, what it was like tonight. Did you have those troubles? Some of these drivers were really having the trouble with turn 4. They were getting loose coming off the corner. Did you experience that? And what did you do to mitigate that problem? Because you seem to be able to run up towards the front when you had gotten over those being down a couple of laps.
So, to me, it was more tight than anything coming out of 4. Just worked on backing up my corner entry and, kind of rolling quarter throttle to the apex and rolling back into it. And it, once the tires wore out, it started getting pushy doing that again. So you kind of had to lift all the way out of it. At least I did. I don't know about the other guys, but this track is tricky with these trucks. 1 and 2 seems like it's a whole lot tighter than 3 and 4 is.
And yet there you were at the very end, coming to the checkered flag. And of course, everybody saw it here live on VirtualRacing.Network. What did you think? Here you're sitting in like 8th place, I think, probably, or 7th place, coming to that checkered flag. Could you have dreamed it up any better to have the top 4 take each other out like that? And you end up on the podium. I know that's probably not how you wanted to get the podium, but still, you're coming to the checkered flag. You're thinking, no, there's no chance of improving here. Could you have possibly imagined something that good happening?
Honestly, no. They were getting pretty dicey going down the back chute out of 2, beating and banging. I was like, well, if they're going to wreck, they're going to wreck going into 3. I didn't expect it coming out of 4, and just, I kind of hesitated for a second to see where, which direction the wreck was going to go, and they went up. So yanked the wheel to the left and went airborne through the grass and got a third out of it.
Congratulations on scoring your first podium position here this season for NORA Truck Series. Anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to?
I got to give a shout out to my teammate Torn Shirts. I mean, he had a pretty unfortunate ending to his night, but I guess that's racing. Come back next week and hopefully me and him can have a stronger run and finish in the top 5 together. And I got to give a shout out to my sponsor, the Scrubbing Tires podcast. You know, I mean, them guys, the owner of it, he does paint schemes and stuff. He's the one that did the paint scheme on my truck, and I mean, I can't. I'm still baffled at how it turned out.
Yes, indeed, and he managed to snag that 3rd position, and that is a snazzy looking paint job. Always love that, the chrome numbers and everything else you got going on there. And certainly with Torn Shirts and yourself, I'm sure we'll be seeing you up there in the top 5 a lot more this season. Congratulations on snagging that 3rd place. Sometimes being lucky is better than being the fastest guy out there during the night. So congratulations. We'll see you again next week.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
So that was Mark Bremkamp, who takes 3rd position here tonight. And Christian, I think you managed to catch up with Andrew Stab.
Yeah, I'm down here. I caught up with Andrew after finishing 2nd. Andrew, being the team owner, I'm pretty happy with the 2nd place, but man, one more position and you'd be in the playoffs. Tell us how that finish went for you, man.
Yeah, man, I kind of disappointed, didn't get the win, but I was really hoping Todd would get the win there. He raced good all night, and I just saw everyone wrecking to the right, so I was like, let's just shoot it down low. You know, these tires don't have to do me much longer, so I just figured I'd try to make the best out of my situation.
Yeah, me and you both were cheering on Todd, I'm sure. I mean, anyways, it's a great finish though for us, you know, getting the 2nd, and I'm sure for you, because I mean this is like almost winning, because most of the season it's been, you know, DNF after DNF, and you're finally on the podium. How do you feel?
Yeah, it feels really good, man. I mean, we just keep getting hit by plagues, it feels like, and it feels nice to be up here and get some points for the team, and I hope it's not the last one of the year.
Yeah, definitely agree with that one. Hopefully it is not the last one. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go here, since it's 11:15 at night?
I mean, the only person really is Todd. I was really hoping he would take that one home, and he's been hit with some pretty hard stuff this year, and I think he ran a really good race all race long, and I thought that was his race, but sucks to see him finish like that, but that definitely shows the viewers out there what he's capable of.
Trevor, you got anything to add here?
I mean, that was a solid run. I know I saw you overcome some adversity yourself out there, Andrew, with an incident earlier, but you know, it feels like a survivor night, and you managed to survive, and just like Christian said, I'm sure, you know, with some good runs here at Charlotte, you've got some more great races coming up. You know, I think definitely Full Send Motorsports has a lot of good things coming, and congratulations on stealing that 2nd place. It must feel like you sort of stole it here tonight. Did you think in a wildest dreams that you would be rolling up to the checkered flag, you know, sitting there in like 6th place, that you would end up in 2nd? I mean, just what did you do to avoid it? Like, what was going through your head when you see all these trucks wrecking in front of you?
I mean, if you want me to be honest, it was turn left. That's all that's going in my head all race. I was able to catch up with Tyler and Mark before you guys interviewed us, and I was just saying, Tyler, man, I just saw you go, and I was like, you know what? If I follow him, it'll probably be the best bet. You know, there's not much. It's a really split-second decision you have to make, and if you make the wrong one, you just have to live with that. And I was lucky tonight, and I made the right decision.
Well, as I was saying earlier to Mark, sometimes luck is the best way to go, and you lucked into it tonight. But no luck involved in how quick that you and Todd, have been out here in the Truck Series, and we'll see you again next week, my friend, and I'm sure it'll be another top 5 type truck for you as well. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
So Andrew Stab having a great run, lucking into that second position, but certainly running in the top 10 through most of the night, and just in the right place at the right time. I mean, he certainly was right there to potentially take a top 5. He was right there at the end, just managed to get those extra positions through a swoop of the hand, and then it was all just following the right truck through. So with that, let's chat with our winner. Here he is, the number 79 for Kingdom Motorsports, getting his first win here in the NORA Truck Series. Congratulations, Tyler Dixon. What a finish. What a way to win. You're at the right place at the right time. You must have taken a book out of Jacob Gladelich's How to Win a NORA Truck Race.
Yeah, that was something else. Not gonna lie, that was pure luck. I'm gonna lean on that, but yeah, I enjoyed it, had a fun time, and appreciate the opportunity.
Man, talk us through. Obviously you had a really good night tonight. Anyway, I saw you racing up there towards the top 5 through a lot of the night. You didn't manage to crack up there into the top 3. But you also didn't have any of those turn 4 issues, and I'm going to bring that up again because it caught out a lot of drivers, including Josh Conover. Did you face that? Did you feel that coming on at any point? In turn 4, a lot of trucks were getting loose coming off the corner.
Yeah, I mean, not gonna lie, I haven't had my sim on in probably about a month. So I got in and practiced about 10 laps before the race, and it took about 7 or 8 before I got a lap in without wrecking off turn 4. So
oh wow,
my game plan going forward was just to ride around the first stage and until I got a feel for the car again, and after that I tried to make a move starting in that second stage, and just like I said, just got lucky. So it's sometimes better to be lucky than good, and definitely turned out tonight.
Well, and there you made the split-second decision at the end to go to the left. And at that point, you're probably thinking, okay, I'm riding in 6th, might be able to snag this top 5 here. And then, well, actually, maybe you were in 5th, but you were right outside of the top 4 there. And you're coming up to it. You're like, okay, 5th, maybe I can get Briscoe. I'm not really sure coming to the line. You make the split-second decision to go to the left. What is that decision like to do that? You could have gone to the right and ended up in the mess. What can you recall what it was that made you think, okay, go left?
To be honest with y'all, I just closed my eyes, jerked the wheel, and put the pedal down. So really happy with how it turned out. Just saw it seemed like a big wave that was heading toward the wall, so I figured might as well finish through the infield if I have to. So I knew there was a lot more space that way instead of the wall, but just happy they wrecked to the right instead of to the left. That's for sure.
Did it look like they were gonna wreck? Did it just have that feeling like?
Yeah, taking the white flag, I was surprised we made it to the white flag, and then when we got that, I was telling the guys in the waiting room, I said I was happy with a 5th or a 6th. That's all I wanted. And then it just seemed like they were 3 wide the entire last lap. I figured we would wreck getting into 3, and then when we made it through 3 and exit of 4, I knew there was no way everybody was making it to the line. So I didn't expect the entire top 5 to get taken out, but it just happened to work out for us.
And as a result, the way that they got taken out, they all ended up getting taken out before the start-finish line, and you were able to roll through. And so there you are driving through that mess. You drive out onto the backstretch. The fireworks are going off. At what point did it set in that you actually won? Did you have to double-check the results to make sure you won? How did you know?
Well, when I went through the infield, I was like, I'm definitely getting a black flag. There's no way. And then it popped up first, and I was like, nah, this is a joke. And then somebody had said, I can't remember who it was, but someone said, congrats on the win. I was like, wait, no, that actually happened. Okay. So yeah, no, it was very surprising, that's for sure. But we take them any way we can get them.
Well, who would you like to give a shout out to here for your win?
Yeah, so my team owner, Alex Robinson, great dude. Been a pleasure to get to race on his team this year. Also got a few sponsors to shout out, specifically Bridgeport Motorsport Park and Flow Racing, real big partners of Alex, I know, and the team. Jeremy Zares Photography, Extreme Midget Series, High Limit Sprint Cars, and just everyone that tunes in to watch. Thank y'all for broadcasting the race. I know it's always fun to go back and watch the next morning during work, so I do appreciate that. And Josh for putting on the series. Thank y'all, and hope to be back up this way.
Absolutely, and it should be a fun one, especially for you to go back and track yourself through this whole one and watch as it all went down. But great drive from you here tonight, Tyler. Fantastic run for yourself, and obviously so much to celebrate for yourself and your team. Christian, any final words for our winner before we send him off?
Yeah, man, congrats on the win. That's a crazy way to get it, and like you said, any way you can, so congrats on that, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. I did have one other thing. I got into the 33. It seemed like a little bit earlier in the night touring. I think we just kind of met there in the middle at one spot, and I think it ended his night. So I do feel bad about that, and sorry to him, but hopefully we won't have any more of those run-ins moving forward.
Indeed, and I know that happens occasionally, and Mark was talking about that over at BS, but hey, it's a tight racetrack. There's 27 trucks out there. It's bound to happen at some point. A lot of drivers trying to be competitive, but either way, Tyler, fantastic run tonight. If just a small incidental contact is the worst that happened to you tonight, you survived a great race here at Charlotte, and you take your first victory. Congratulations.
Thanks, y'all. Thank y'all. Hope to be back up here with y'all here soon.
Absolutely. We'll see you next time, Tyler.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that is Tyler Dixon from Kingdom Motorsports, who, in his number 79 Chevy, takes his first ever victory here in the NORA Truck Series. And Christian, this was just an insane race throughout. I mean, it was just an incredible race. It was like there was a lot of cautions, but through the cautions, there were so many different great green flag moments. And then just, of course, Jeff, the gnome cameraman,
yes,
was there to catch it all, and we appreciate his hard work. There'll be an extra candy cane in there for his work here tonight in capturing all of those great things and the replays. We've got a bunch of gnomes in the replay in the control tower as well, doing all of our race control stuff. Hey, yeah. Christian, any final thoughts before we close it out?
Final thoughts as a broadcaster is that NORA puts on amazing shows every week, and I'm so happy to be up here in the booth to watch them. As a team owner, final thoughts. Todd Slauson, what can you say? He almost had this thing in the bag. A few feet away from the line, he loses it. That win's coming for him eventually, soon down the road. Hopefully, within the next few weeks, he definitely deserves it. And, Andrew did a fantastic job. Brad did a great job earlier. So, as an owner, my thoughts on Charlotte is I love this track.
Well, a fantastic run, and certainly we appreciate everybody checking in. Alex Robinson even checking in. Hopefully you all can tune in on Flow and listen to me at Bridgeport on Saturday. So Kingdom Motorsports owner Alex Robinson checking in, and we appreciate you doing that. If anybody out there is watching along, and you haven't subscribed already, make sure you smash that subscribe button. You'll want to catch all of the future NORA Truck and Cup action. And, of course, like this video, and you'll see a lot more of this good stuff in your feed, and you'll be helping us to get more of this out into the general YouTube, pushing it out there so more people can check out these great races.
Almost 400 subscribers, too. So
we're getting up there.
We're getting there.
We're loving it. And we'll have even more great NASCAR action here. Another series will be adding to the fold here on Sunday nights as well. And then, as I was mentioning, the NORA team hard at work to put together this new series of events that will be going on, at least the first one, trying to get an Indy together, and we'll be talking about that very soon and scheduling that race. So stay tuned on our Facebook page, and also you have the NORA Facebook page. You got the Full Said Motorsports Facebook page, Ronnie Norman Racing Facebook page. We link to all of them over on our Facebook page, so make sure you head on over and join up with us there. On behalf of Christian Snyder, NORA Truck Series competitors, and all of the admin team here, we wish you a great night. We'll see you next time here in the NORA Truck Series, but in the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow night for the NORA Cup Series at 8:25 Eastern Time right here on VirtualRacing.Network. Until then, I'm Trevor Greenfield signing off. So long, everybody. Have a great night.